Good afternoon, traders and investors. Today's market SITREP. It's Thursday, October 25th. And real quickly, folks, we're almost going to get airborne. About an hour, we're going to get airborne and our Analyze Your Trade and weekly debrief. Going to open this one up to the public. Obviously, today's Thursday, October 25th at 1 o'clock Eastern. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief, and you can join us today. It's a regular member session. I'm going to open this one up because this is just seeing a lot of volatility in this market. Be careful of this snapback bounce. I actually did not want this. I did not want this bounce. I don't want it. We need to see more exhaustive selling before we find a bottom. This is not the all clear. I am warning you right now. I nailed it here. I nailed it here, and I'm going to nail it here too, folks. Low volume, and this rally does not a bottom make. So I have to be very, very careful trading in this environment, and we're doing pretty damn good, all things considered. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief, and you can join us for a free live trade brief at 1 o'clock. Have a lot to cover. With the election coming up in Brazil on Sunday. Looks like their Donald Trump is going to win, and their market's going to rally. The EWZ, which we've been talking about for the past we've been trading it for the past 4, 5, 6 years. World Cup, Olympics, and then political scandals. Nice move today, up nearly 3% on the EWZ. This is not good news. So the FXI, which we've been bearish on and printing money on recently, U.S. won't resume trade talks without firm proposal from a wary China. That ain't good. So we looked at getting bearish yesterday on the FXI. It's popping a little bit today with the overall U.S. markets. This is another dead cat bounce, and this is lower. We sold into this pop the other day on the PBOC, kind of soothing words, trying to calm Chinese markets, and the thing imploded, and it's going to implode from here too. So I'd sell on this pop today, which we'll talk about at 1 o'clock. China's largest fund is getting ready to dump stocks. Time to prepare for the next crisis. U.S.-China trade war is in full mode, and then the former head of U.S. Army forces U.S. Army commander in Europe, Ben Hodges, said, "Hey man, U.S. war with China is really likely in the next 15 years." This guy's a smart dude, very well-respected, smart guy, and he's thinking this thing's going to turn into a shooting war. So if you want to be bullish on that, be bullish at your own risk there. So stocks, market whiplash rattles investors. This was yesterday's headline, and then today's headline: U.S. stocks gain after Wednesday's rout. If you're reading these headlines day to day, you're going to drive yourself nuts. You're way too tactical in this market. You have to pick up your binoculars and look downrange and look to what's going to go on down the road here. And obviously, like I said, we're going to talk about that at 1 o'clock. One of the reasons our economy is accelerating, hey man, government spending, military spending, as a matter of fact. We're going to cover Raytheon earnings. Huge beat, and beautiful guidance downrange. It's down 3%. Talk about a sell on the news event, breaking through the bottom of this Keltner channel. Way stupid move out of Raytheon. Kind of like CSX last week. They blew earnings out of the water, and the CEO's forward guidance could not have been more bullish, and then the stock went down. So that's the type of season we're in here right now, guys. It's kind of a sell on the news type of thing. So we're going to talk about Raytheon here in a little bit. But here comes every day. It seems like these financial market, reporters or whatever, or analysts seem to be hanging their hat on the next big set of earnings. Today, maybe Amazon earnings will save this market. No earnings to date have saved this market, whether it was J.P. Morgan, a CSX, you name it. A matter of fact, you're pointing out the few big misses, like a Caterpillar or a 3M, as the reason we're imploding. Earnings have not been bad, folks, but the market's certainly treating it as the next big earnings are going to save us. I just don't think that's going to happen. On a day like today, where you see Twitter up 20% and Tesla rallying, this is a stupid rally and not to be believed. I would sell into that Tesla pop. I just read a great report that it more or less, they used every trick in the book, Tesla did, to put lipstick on that pig, and it's heading lower after this. And Twitter, more than half its monthly users, it's seen the biggest drop in monthly users, but it's going to surge on an earnings beat. They're shadow banning. They're alienating half their users, like me. I'm shadow banned, guys. Are you kidding me? I'd sell into this pop. The only reason Twitter is surging is it was a short. This is a short squeeze. A hell of a lot of people were short Twitter going into earnings. That's why I don't trade earnings, folks. Is because it, remember one of the Wall Street isms that I preach a lot. If you can't hit the ball over the net, what does Wall Street do? They lower the net. The net was so low that any beat was going to be good news for Twitter. So if you were short Twitter going to earnings, you deserve to be getting purged today. Don't trade earnings. Now you sell into this Twitter pop because the thing's a dog. What else is going on? A good report out of J.P. Morgan. Hey, the next big downturn, if this is not already it, there's going to be about 7.4 trillion in ETF selling and people trying to get out of ETFs of all kinds. Do you think there's going to be any liquidity on the other side, any buyers in that? So I call it the Fred Sanford, right? I grew up watching Good Times, and Lamont, you big dummy. Every episode almost, Fred Sanford would grab his chest and, this is the big one. We're getting pretty damn close to this being the big one. We're actually even for the year. Look at this. We're almost at these, May lows here on the S&P 500 down here at 2,600. This ain't 2,700ish, but this ain't good. We're holding 2,700 right now, but I don't believe this rally today. The Beige Book yesterday brought up tariffs and widespread labor shortages and robots. The Beige Book yesterday was not bullish. And the president's right here, man. I got to give him credit. Is the Fed ain't acting responsibly, in my opinion, right now, cranking up interest rate and trying to unwind their balance sheet. They're trying to juggle, chew gum, and stand on a basketball at the same time, and it ain't working. The market knows it isn't going to work. So have to be very, very careful in this environment. We're going to talk about all this stuff at 1 o'clock live. So make sure you head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief. And we're going to we'll talk about all this stuff live. Bearish on China, bullish on Brazil. We're going to talk about a retail trade that looks even better now that I covered about 3-4 weeks ago because it's getting to the end of October, and might even be bullish double vertical time on the XRT or even the XLY. So join me at 1 o'clock here in a little bit. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock.